I'm Mike Warren today. Hope you found it helpful. Just going to run through a couple of things that we just talked about during the lesson. In terms of actually the takeaway, that was kind of where the main problems are sort of starting. And because of that, obviously, then you're sort of figuring in things in the backswing and trying to create compensations to try and strike the golf ball. As we said, when the arms go back as they were doing here, pushing out and away kind of in this direction to the right, the arms then now start getting very, very steep and lifty. Because of this position at the top of the bat, so now with the left arm really high there, sort of across the side of your head, you're going to be coming down into the ground too steep and then slicing the golf ball off to the right. So what we're going to be seeing then is a golf ball that wants to kind of go this way and a club slamming in the ground behind the golf ball. Then as a result of that, you created a compensation to kind of miss the ground, sort of stand up and bob back, which is what you kind of felt you said you were doing when you were on the golf club. And that's often the case. People tend to feel their symptoms and not actually try and cure the actual fault that's causing it. So the takeaway now wants the hands to kind of work more inside over the toe line. If we watch this movement here now, some of these sort of practice swings you're making, you can see the hands and the arms are just working away with the torso turn, and then your arms then lift up over your right shoulder. You see the club now a little bit across the line, which we'll talk about in a second, but left arm now more across the shoulder there, hands in a much better position, swinging towards where you want to go. So then when you put the golf club in play, as the club's coming down here now, it's a lot shallower, a lot flatter angle. If you look at the golf club coming into the golf ball, it's a lot easier if you just square the club face up. And therefore, the first few shots, as we saw, were pinging off to the left. So when we swing that golf club back, if we get into the golf ball now, again, good setup again. See the club now working back much better. There's your sort of takeaway there compared to where you were there. See the arms much more kind of under the head, under the chin and the shoulders, whereas this one, they're way out there, and that club now is going to sort of whip inside with a lot of forearm rotation. So from there now, as we keep turning, the arms can lift up. Really good position there now. As we start coming back down the club, now we can see sort of more through your right shoulder here, coming back down to the golf ball, where because of that steeper angle and the takeaway issue you had, as you started coming back down now, that club now you can see through your right neck area and a lot steeper in terms of the angle. So working on that takeaway now is going to make it a lot easier for you to swing that club and release the club. As we can see in this case, the ball just flying to the left and just staying there, all because you were fighting against the golf club, hitting the ground too heavy, and the ball previously spinning off to the right. So you created things in the swing to try and just send it somewhere left and miss the ground. When you cured the reason why the ball was going right and the club hitting the ground too hard, the mechanism to try and stop it doing that didn't disappear straight away. But after about 4 or 5 shots, you kind of sort of got the feel for the golf ball kind of swinging more in this direction. Starting some nice shots there down the fairway. So work on that takeaway, get that club working back a little bit more kind of with the torso turn as kind of one unit. So the body takes the club back and the arms lift the club over your right shoulder into a good position. Once you get yourself to the top of the bat from there, just let your body unwind, release through to a nice finish. I hope that all makes sense. Any questions, obviously give me a shout, but I'll catch up with you soon. Cheers, mate.